Alright, so in this lesson we are going to see what's going on with Instagram and how to reverse engineer parts of it. So I just typed Instagram in incognito mode, which is when you go into a private session with your browser of choice. And just for reference, I'm using Chrome. And so the first thing I would do here is probably find out is if we can access more elements. So I just typed a random string here, and we have basically a 404. But what this reveals is a search field. So search bars, search fields are very, very interesting because usually they return results that are um, opinionated in a way. So they return results that are usually from the most popular on the platform to the least popular result on the platform usually. So let's say if we type A, we get the first hashtag is hashtag A, hashtag actress, hashtag before and after, and then we have all these popular accounts. So we have actor Lemigno, Adele, Maisa, AliExpress, and then we got another hashtag. So you can see how these are um, actually very interesting, and there are some tools that they just scrape Instagram and they monetize it. So one of these tools is Hashtagify. Hashtagify. Yeah. So this is a tool that basically retrieves data from Instagram, and then they have a subscription, and you can search Instagram hashtag. But anyway, so what if I wanted to retrieve dog and see what type of dog um, are popular. So this is interesting. We got places, and then we got an account, which is @dog, and then we got more accounts, Brisky Dogs, etc. So these are all again all popular accounts. So how can we get these results? Well, the first thing that I would do is look at the inspector. So the inspector tool is an inspection tool that Chrome offers to mainly developers, and how you access it is by right-clicking and going to inspect right here. Or what I would do, because I optimize for velocity, is just type Command Alt and I, letter I on my keyboard, and that will open the inspector for me. So the inspector is here, this part on my right, and for you it might open on the bottom of the screen. I usually have this set up with it on my right, just cause and yeah, just cause I like it that way. So what I would do next is reload the page, because in this way we are going to get all the events and all the files that this page requires to load. And here we go, we get a bunch of things. So in this section here we got everything that this page loads like in terms of requirements. So we got this is the page slash agsd whatever I typed in, and you can see that the status code is 404. And yeah, this section here you have headers, which basically are the details on the request that you made, because whenever we load a page we make a request to a server that's given, So we have details about the request that we made, which in this case is just a GET request, and also the response, the type of response that we have, so response headers. And this is very useful if you want to replicate this request, and we will see how. Then we have a tab called preview, which is just a preview of what the page loads, and then response, which is in this case the actual code, which you can expect also if you go to the source code of the page. Then we get a bunch of CSS, and CSS and JS are just files that usually are for styling, especially CSS. And then we got, the SDK for JavaScript. You don't need to worry about this, but it's just a common practice for me to go after, to go look each one just to see if there is something interesting that we can, exploit, that we can take advantage of. Okay. So the other thing is here. So this is a timeline right here, and all these little lines are basically um, marks of when certain files were loaded. So if I only wanted to know the files that were loaded a little bit after the entire page load, which is around here, I can select this time frame, and I will have only those files, which are those two. Okay, so now let's go for the kill here. So let's just reload the page for sake of simplicity. And what I will do is type A. Here we go. And you can see right here that something happened because these events, these lines, were not here before. So if we are going to select just those, we will see the events related to the fact that we typed in A in the search bar. And now what you would do is go into the XHRs. So XHRs is basically the first tab that I see whenever that I check whenever I want to see and reverse engineer a website. And just this information is pure gold, because I've seen a lot of marketers and even coders, to be honest, that don't look at this at all. So XHRs are basically requests that are made from the browser to the server, and so whenever we, in this case, we typed A, the browser has to communicate with the server because, well, A is a letter that we typed in the browser, right? So there's a request that goes from the browser, takes the letter A, and pings something on the server through, I guess, JavaScript to then get the results back. And the results are just these hashtags and accounts. So what is really interesting, actually, let's go through each one of these. So we got this, Arwing, login clients event, and then we got this one, and this one is the interesting part. So this one, again, if you go to the others, this is just a simple GET request, and you can see that the status code is 200, which just means that the request has gone through and the response is okay. And we got some response here, but as you can see, if we go on preview, we already get some type of interesting result, even if we go on response. So this is basically preview is, I can clearly see this is JSON just from the structure of it. And JSON, just don't worry about it, but it's a way to structure information at a very basic level. This is structured in a way that we can, browse it more conveniently. And in response, you just get the raw information. So what I would do here, this is very interesting. What I would do is take the raw information. So just in my case, I'm doing Command A to select everything and Command C to copy. And then I would go to a website called jasonlink.com. And jasonlink.com is just a JSON parser, which is gonna allow us to see all of this mess a little bit better and more, make it more readable. So if I click validate JSON, you get basically the structure, and this is more readable. So if we compare this to the type of results we have, you can see that the first user is actually Minio, and that's exactly what we have. So in this case, we have an array. This is an array called users, and then we have position 3, which is exactly the position of the array of the account, which is 3. So usually array, they start from 0. So you have position 0, position 2, it will be actress, position 3 before and after, and position 0 it will be A, position 1 will be actress, position 2 will be before and after, and position 3 will be actually Minio, which is exactly what the data says. So position 3, and then we have detail about the user. So PK, I would guess that's some kind of personal key or identifier for the user inside their system. So that's basically the user ID right there. Username is just the readable username of the person, and then you got the full name, which is also displayed here with some weird I guess Japanese characters. Yeah, don't worry about this. This is just some special character that you can then decode. And then you got an is private, and this is just a Boolean value. So Boolean values are basically basic values that can be either false or true. And in this case, is private is false, meaning this is a public profile. The actual Lemini one is a public profile. And let's go. Profile pic URL, it's just a link to the profile pic, which we can actually see. So let's go here. Okay, bad URL timestamp, because this URL has some kind of expire timestamp that basically you need to access that URL in a time frame or it will go away. Don't worry about that. So profile pic ID, then we go is verified, which is true, which means that this account has a little check that testifies that the account is verified by Instagram. Then we got as anonymous profile picture, which is false, because we can actually see the profile picture. And then we have mutual followers count and latest real media, which in this case, these are not relevant at all. But these are not relevant because basically we are in incognito, and I would guess that if we go, and search this from not incognito, which is when we log in into Instagram with our own profile, this will probably show the mutual followers count between me and the account, and latest real media, I don't know what is it. But you can see how this is very interesting. So you got position 3, actually Minio, position 4, Adele, and then you got all the information. So if you wanted to get this information, you can now do it. And this is very interesting because especially with hashtags, because you can see all the popular hashtags, and that's again, because the results from this search query are informed in a way and are ordered from the most popular to the least popular, this is an information that we might want to use. So these are all users. You can see there are a bunch of them, but I'm sure there will be another type of array called hashtags. There you go. So you got the hashtag. So you got the array places, which in this case is empty, but it means that your request can also return places. And then you got hashtag. So hashtag is actually very interesting, and you can see position 0. You got the hashtag name A. So name A, you got one, and then the ID of the hashtag, the media count, which is blah 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 42 million, yeah, and then use default avatar false, and the profile pic URL of the avatar, I guess, and the search result subtitle, which is 42.4 million posts, which in this case we don't see. And then you got the other one. So actress is the second one, position 1, and then position 2, as I told you, 0, 1, 2, you got before and after. And yeah, and we got another hashtag at position 7 called Antalya, which I don't know what is it, Antalya. And then we got other keys like as more, true, meaning there's probably like a count that we can exploit as well. And then rank token, which is some kind of float number. And yeah, float number is just a number that has decimals. It's not an integer. And this seems to be some kind of ratio. And then clear client cache, false, and status OK. So as you can see, with just a proper look at the XHRs, we have seen how to retrieve this information, and this is very, very interesting. The other thing you can do now is copy the address of the request. So if you go here, we just go copy link address, and now we got the address. So if we go here, we basically get the raw JSON in the browser, because this is a GET request, is a very simple request to make. And I will show you how to then use this information and maybe put this in a database. I will show you that later. But for now, let's analyze the URL. So you got Instagram.com, which is the website, and then you got a path here called web, called search, web search, top search, context blended, query A, rank token, a number, a float number, and then include real, true. So these are all very interesting, and this part of the URL is, they are called queries that you can attach to the base URL. And this is interesting. So if we actually copy this is what I do usually. I go on Google and I just type this between quotes, and what that will do is Google will search for that exact URL. Usually I don't include HTTPS and www, just for the sake of it. And you can see that we already have a lot of interesting things and other people that have identified this. As you can see, these are the same thing. that we are encountering. But I've already seen one thing that we didn't know, which is here. So our URL is context equals blended. Instead, here they refer to context equal place. And if you remember, we actually encountered place as a type of array inside our results, inside the JSON that I've showed you on JSON lint. And so let's actually do this. Let's first of all, let's actually change the query to something else and see if we got some other response. So let's do dog, for example. All right, it works. As you can see, we get a lot of response for dog, and we got for example, this account called dog in position 2, etc. You can obviously copy and paste this into JSON lint again to get a more readable format if you have problems reading this. I read like this all the time, so I don't have problems. But another thing is, let's actually change the context, like we found out here, to place. It was place or places? Place. So let's go place. So now we got places before anything else. And let's actually analyze this on JSON link. Here we go. So we got well, a user, and then we got places. So places, we got location, again personal key, which I think is just a unique identifier for the place. Then we got the name of the place, dog tags, restaurant, tap room. Then the address, the city, the short name. We even got coordinates right here, and then the source for this place, which is Facebook actually, and even the ID on the Facebook platform, as well as other things, the title, the subtitle, and the slug. The slug will be just the handle. So this is like very cool. And we got a bunch of places. So you can see like how just by searching and reverse engineering this, you can get a lot of useful information that then you can use for profit. So if I wanted to profit out of this, and maybe I will, I have a tool called Trendly. It's at trendly.com, where we basically yeah, let's do GeoUS so you can understand a little bit better. We basically discover and identify rising trends, and these are some trends that we identified in the last week or so. And if I was to profit out of this thing on Instagram, I would include Instagram as a source of potential topics to then analyze to see if they are hot, and probably they are, because Instagram, as I said, when you search for something, the results are ordered from the most popular. So there's like a good chance that these things are popular and are rising trends. So if I was to profit from this info, I could do that. I could just maybe build a software that scrapes into Instagram and works like Hashtagify or other type of software that reveals the information, like the most popular hashtags. So that's another thing you can do. And also maybe I could do a tool for influencers just by using all the popular accounts that are returned from the search right here. So these are just like 3 ideas out of the top of my mind, but you can see how this is very, very, very easy to do if you just know how to look in the right places. So let's go ahead and actually we have seen places. Let's change this to maybe users only. and yeah, this does work. Maybe it's user. Yeah, and this works. And my reasoning to find out about this was just that if place works, what are some other words that we encountered in the actual response from Instagram that we can potentially use as a context. So user is one of them, and I would so now Instagram is only returning users to us for that particular keyword dog. And if I was to guess, I would say that hashtag is another one. And in fact, now Instagram is only returning hashtags to us. If we actually copy this and go to JSON link just to make it more readable, we got a lot of hashtags. Dog, dogs of Instagram, dogs again, dog lover, dog lovers, dogstagram, dog of the day, etc. So this is very, very cool. So I hope this quick lesson is useful to you. In the next lessons, we will dig deeper into this Instagram again. So see you in the next one.